Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. We're back on the 81 Z28. Just finished a video. Real long one, but got a lot accomplished. Got the fuel tank in, all the fuel lines, all the brake lines, hoses. Both systems are done, except the brakes need to be bled. In fact, yeah, I don't even know if I got any brake fluid, but need to fill that up. It's going to be hell trying to bleed it, but we'll get it done eventually. No big rush right now. And I think we got all the electrical system done, and pretty much all the wires figured out, except maybe one. But that is about it. What a mess. You know, this whole car was taken apart years ago by a 13-year-old, and someone commented, "Oh, don't disparage a 13-year-old for trying to work on a car." Well, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was his caretakers, advisors, or whatever, that probably just says, take the car apart, and then turn their back and didn't supervise them. It was needless to take everything apart off a car. It's just not needed, especially, you know, like this wiring and stuff. I mean, even if I took it all apart and, you know, years later trying to put it back together, even I wouldn't even, the person that took it apart would have a very difficult time putting it back together. You just imagine a different person now getting it, you know, 5 years later, or however long it's been. Yeah, it's been quite the ordeal, but luckily I got a bunch of parts cars there that I could figure out just about everything except cruise control. None of the parts cars have cruise control, and I'm missing a bunch of parts. I went over that last video. So I think everything's going to work. That's what we're going to do in this video, except the cruise control, because, like I mentioned, we're missing parts. So yeah, it's ready. I even tested some of the electrical stuff with a battery right here. Just took up a battery, and so I never thought it would be so satisfying to get an old shitty dash back in here, but it's gonna be. Hopefully it is to you guys too. But here's the old dash. We got to clean it up. It's all dusty, and we're gonna duct tape all this ducts and everything together. We'll use what we can off parts cars, but everything's all so shitty. But yeah, an old cracked dash. Don't know. See, the goal on this car is just get it together. I haven't even looked. Can somebody buy a dash cover, one of those what they call them, inlays or whatever? That you know, I bought one for the El Camino years ago. I don't know what the prices are, but at this point, I'm not spending any more money on this car than I absolutely positively have to. I'm kind of doing a boycott on buying prices right now, or buying parts right now, because of tariffs and stuff. So could I recover it? Could I patch it up like I have other dashes? Could I or buy a dash cover inlay thing? Yeah, maybe, but not right now. The goal is to bolt this thing together. So we got this. Then we got to, you know, fish some wires through and everything for the gauges. Now we got all the gauges here, and then we screw that in there, and then we put on the bezel. I'm going to try to clean that up more, but here in a little bit I'm going to go out to the parts car, because this is Z28 only, because they have the full gauges. You know, the other regular Camaros just have idiot lights there. This got the tack and the gear and battery and all that. So I have the other 80 Z28 parts car that has this. So if they're in better shape, we may use them. This one isn't bad, but as I mentioned last video, these are like melted on there. This cover, you can't take it off and clean it. We got a bunch of dirt in there. I'll try to blow some air and try to get off a little bit of it, but I'm not gonna unmelt this cover and try to clean it. We'll see if the other bezel is any better. So yeah, so the goal is right now to get the dash, the gauges, and then of course this has the bezel has the wiper and the headlight and the cigarette lighter and fasten seatbelt light, check engine light, signals. We got to hook all that up and get it all working as best we can. And then the glove box, it's got a little glove box light I got on the floor. I figured out all that, all the interior courtesy, glove box light, all that stuff. We'll get all that in there, all that working. Then we're gonna go to the back. We got this wire here for the fuel gauge. Now this is the rear harness, the main harness. This is where the rear harness plugs into. That white one's a dome light for the inside. Then this plugs in right here. But what it does is it routes through this hole and it's in behind the taillights. Okay, so nothing's exposed on a regular car. It's not exposed back here. So we got to take out the lights, and we got to change bulbs, make sure everything works. We got to hook up a ground wire here, tape up rat chewed wires if there is any. That is the license plate light, and that is the fuel sender gas gauge. They go right here. We got to wire that little light for the license plate light, the fuel sender right there, and get that all in behind here, mount them all in, and then test everything, and then bolt the taillights back in. So yeah, we're going to do that in this video as well. So we'll just start with that. Yeah, then we'll go from there. It shouldn't take that long, but putting something back together always takes 10 times longer to put in than it does to take out. So we'll just go from there. And then I should have done this front floor section before before I started putting all the wiring and stuff in it, but we're gonna have to do it afterwards. Okay, and it'll be underneath the dash, but oh well. Okay, so yeah, I think that's where we're at, guys. That's the whole deal on what we got to put in it. And then after that, we can move on to other major stuff. I think I got an engine transmission to put in it. We got interior stuff, what I have to put in it. Then after the engine transmission's in, then we can get the front end and and all that all bolted on there, and man, it's just going to be a ton of work. And also we'll connect these headlight switches here, are all kind of messed up, and signals and the wires cut. They're going to figure out this whole front too when we do the harness, and we'll hook up some headlight signals and make sure they all work, are gonna work when we finally put them in there. And yeah, that's the goal right now. So let me get started. Let me go over and get those other gauges, see if there are any gauges and bezel, see if they're any better, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm gonna just take a power washer to this. It was sitting in the probably do the console as well, sitting in the junkyard's attic for years and years, just filthy. So yeah, okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, here's the bezel and gauges out of the 80 Z28. Yeah, this ain't much better. And he's got a toggle switch for the lights. This, it's actually busted right here. It flexes there and there. But I should have checked this. It had two deals like this in there. Where mine was missing, had two open holes like this. So I took them two out and put them in the other deal. This is up like the other one, which I put some tape to tape it down a little bit. So yeah, we'll use the original one instead of this one. This one does reach 75,824 miles. The other one reads 82,000. So yeah, I wanted to get them out anyway, and we're gonna keep it with this dash here and kind of put it all together, keep it all together, probably put it in the shed for safekeeping. Okay, well, let me get this dash out and clean it up. Yeah, this is what did I do with it? Oh, I left it right here. I blew some air in here trying to get this dirt out, but it's not coming out. I think we're just going to leave that like that, and you're going to have to unmelt this to take this off to clean it inside there. But then when you try to clean it, it smudges. I don't know about on this Camaro, but on other cars it'll smudge all them white letters. If you try to put cleaner and, well, even water in a paper towel and try to clean it, it'll smudge all them numbers. It'll look like garbage and you just ruined it. But yeah, those two little light things there. So we do got a couple lights we got to figure out in there. I thought they plugged in there, but anyway. Okay, yeah, let me clean up that dash and we'll get it ready to put in there. I'll be back. Okay guys, I power washed all the dash pieces and duct taped. That's what it's for, right? Duct tape over top all that cracked stuff. So it seems pretty good, but we don't know. The heat usually just deteriorates this stuff, but at least it'll be in there for when we mount it. Okay, it slides. I left these loose because I had a hell of a time, yeah, the passenger side, of getting that blue one off. I had to get up under there and undo these things a 1/4 inch at a time. So I left them loose, and I think they can clip in. You know, they clip in. Well, that's the driver's side. These and these screws here, although there's 5 of them, there's only should be 3. That yeah, anyway, it's kind of a bitch to do. And then this one here is kind of a bitch too, trying to line it up to that bottom bracket and this. So I took that off. I had it on there, but it just there's screws into them 3 things there, and you can get at that. I believe when it's on there, you can reach your hand in that hole and put them 3 screws in there. So we'll just leave that off for now. Yeah, I did, you know, these mounting holes here for this braces were all broken. I JB welded them last video. I don't know if I showed it. Yeah, anyway, slide them in to the grooves there. This dash, this driver's side dash is just 2 screws, 2 8mm screws up here that go in. I guess in this little external brace there, I had to rivet on. I think it goes right there and there. The dash clamps like that, and then you screw it in there and it just tightens it. Okay, so I figured out all these wires. This wire here I thought went to the dash lights, but it doesn't. That's the check engine light deal. That plugs into something, I forget what it was, and then this is the clock. Lights wiper and the light there. And then this is the fasten seat belt. I stuck that little bracket on there, right there. And your cigarette lighter. Yeah, that's cigarette lighter. The only wire we don't know where it goes to is this. I figure it has something to do with maybe another interior light or something, but anyway, that's a cigarette lighter. And then this will go into this piece is attached to the dash already, so I'll just unplug that, plug it into the piece that's attached to the dash, or to the gauge. It's for the speedometer cable, for cruise control or something. So yeah, that's it. And then these are for the other the emissions harness that we're not hooking up. So I think that's it. Now we got to plug in the speedometer in the back of the gauges. Okay, so yeah, this is where that vent it's kind of a weird angle. So trying to get that and this on at the same time is kind of hard. So it's best to do the top and then put those vents in at the bottom. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We went over a lot of that wiring last video. Then this goes to the bottom vent. Yeah, these is what Bumblebee didn't have. It didn't have these deals here. We're wondering what the hell these openings were for. You know, I was like, didn't have any vents here, didn't have these. That AC. See, so this is the passenger side, goes over here, and then off the box that this goes into has a little deal that hooks into that vent. So we can scrounge up a little bit of that vent there. Yeah, it's right here, this little round deal there. See? And then the driver's side is, where is the driver's side? That's that goes to the big vent. Anyway, it's got a little a little deal like that that goes on the driver's side here, or over here. It hooks into that. Passenger side will hook into that box. Anyway, yeah, so I cleaned up them pieces, and the blue dash. I guess we'll put this in the storage building for now with the gauges and everything. That'll be for the Z28, although I think that's gonna have to be an abandoned project. Okay, well, let me set it up in there and get those clips in, get these screws in and everything, and I'll show you where we're at with that. Okay, got the main dash housing in there. Yeah, she's bolted in there. Got the glove box lid on. Got the lower AC vent. We just got to get a vent or a duct. It's only a few inches long, 6 inches long. Okay, so I'm fixing to put in the gauges right here. And they just 4 screws. Although I don't have them, I'll have to round them up. But we gotta route the wires. So this will go on the bezel, you know, headlight, wiper, and a light. And this is the fasten seatbelt light and the check engine light, those two. But yeah, we got to get this whole wiring thing up, because this is what plugs into the gauges here. So this whole harness has to be zip tied up here somewhere so it'll fit. But anyway, well, there's that ductwork there. I had it underneath this, but it actually goes on top, so that's in there pretty good. Yeah, so that's about it. We just, like I said, just got to route these wires a little bit better. That goes up and for the clock. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the gauges in there, all hooked up, speedometer cable hooked up, and fixing to put in the bezel, these wires, this one, and those, and that should be it. Then the steering column needs to be bolted up before that bottom piece goes on. Then all this stuff goes to that. Oh, I thought I had, yeah, anyway. Okay, let me hook up the bezel and I'll be back. Okay guys, there's the bezel. Put in some new screws here. There's just 2 on that side, 4 on that side. Now the gauges are slumped down just a little bit. You can push it up like that, but there's no way, there's no adjustment or anything. It's just, it must be just a little bit warped, but that's all right. Okay, yeah, it's all kind of shitty condition, everything is, but man, it's looking better just having a dash in there. Okay, so yeah, let me put on this bottom piece here. Got the well, bolt up steering column, and then the AC heater controls, and the ashtray, and this bottom vent right here. And we'll connect all that up there. The electrical, a little light bulb, and this cable right here. That cable, the vacuum, and the light. And like I said, this goes to that emissions harness there, so we'll zip tie that up somewhere, because we don't need that. And that's just the radial wires there, and you know, figure out if that's in the right spot or not. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, yeah, let me put this stuff together, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, show you what I got done last night. Got it all back together, except for the so I hooked the battery up to it, turn on the lights, and just this light in here, and that light comes on, no dash lights. I don't know what's going on yet, but the two interior light bulbs there didn't work. I was messing with them, that's why I haven't done nothing with them wires yet. The glove box light did work, and the switch. So anyway, I still get a mess. I don't know why those lights, they were working really good. But anyway, that's all of it together. I didn't check on a dash cover, I meant to. I was looking at some other shit. I did buy a glove box liner for it. Go on eBay, put in glove box liner 81 Camaro. You know, they're the same basically for 70 to 81. And I'll pop up 75 bucks, 69 bucks, and I was like, ah, shit, I'm not paying this. And finally, out of the blue, way down, scrolling down from Classic Industries, it was like $13.95 plus $10 to ship it, so it was like 25 bucks. I thought, okay, I'll buy it for 25 bucks. So I got a new glove box liner coming. This is one of my pet peeves. I like a glove box liner. Plus we can mount that light in there. But anyway, yeah, we got the blue pieces there. Like I mentioned before, I would like to get some of this color paint, but we're going to leave it for now. Maybe just paint everything black or get something close to this, but anyway. Oh, the toe board. The new floor I got only comes up to here. So we need at least a section up there. 130 bucks, about the cheapest I can get one. I don't know if I don't really want to pay that. I'll decide what to do about that later. In the meantime, we'll probably put in this floor section. And see, I think I got screwed on all these floors, because you could get this, well, maybe not, because I think it only comes up to here. I bought the whole from here to here. I cut this piece off, then I'm going to cut a piece off to do this. I think it was just this front floor, but it come with the toe board, and it's like 120 bucks. It's the same as buying a toe board. And I thought, well, I don't need this though now, because I already got it. So anyway, we'll do some more work in here later on. Right now, we're going to go ahead with this harness. I guess I showed it, but I just got these. He's in here by one thing, fastener thing there. So we'll take them off. We'll run this through. I think there was a ground wire up front. Okay, this is where it plugs into the body in that hole, and this would come up to there. This wire here, oh, there it goes right there. So we'll connect the ground on that, connect that, and then we'll just run these lights in behind here and start switching bulbs. There's one busted here. They'll probably all burn out or don't work. And we'll check that. And like I said, we'll hook up the license plate light. We'll fix that wire and run that wire to this one. That is what the color it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a tan one going to a red one. So anyway, we'll run all the lights out here and check them all, and then we'll plug them in and put the taillights back in. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'll be back. Okay guys, we got that harness in there. There's some type of clip that goes on the inside of that, on the other side. I need to find that. Anyway, there's the marker light, the regular tail light. That should come on with the brake. Just the signal reverse light. Same on the other side. I got the right signal on, and we'll. Yeah, I think that connection that connects the dash is not connecting very good. Anyway, there's the left. So it all works, even the license plate light works. Did connect the gas gauge and the ground. I don't like the way that goes there. I'm not sure where that goes. Does that go under or over? I'm not sure. I just zip tied them. That's where those go. Yeah, so the gas gauge should work. It's reading way past full. I said, I don't think these gauges are working. That big plug must not be. Because there's the light. See the signals, indicators are not working. There's a light switch. It's that light, and you can't see it, but this light here comes on. Okay. Okay, well, I'm just going to plug them into the tail lights there and stick them back in. I guess we'll call that done. Okay, I'll be back. Oh, and I had to splice these two wires together. These, it was nibbled right off right here by the rats. Because I put them on there and I was like, oh, there's only 3 there and 4 there. And I got to looking, yep. I'm going to tape them up. Then, of course, I had to go to parts car and get another plug. So I got a bunch of extra plugs and lights and stuff there I snipped off. So, yeah. Other than that, it was pretty good. Just got a new ground there. I said right there needs some type of clip that goes on there to hold that. I'll find it. I'll find something off a parts car. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'll show you in the dark. Now, there's that little marker light there, and it was a wiggler. Wiggled it till it worked, and then after I put it in, it doesn't work. I'm not taking it apart again, like that one corner there. But yeah, there's taillights and the license plate light. This buzzer stays on also for the light switch. It does have, these lights here light up. Those 3 gauges light up, but these ones don't. So it must be connected. That's a console light, gear shift lever light. And like I said, I can't get these door switches to work again. And then this light here's on. So you turn the lights off, the buzzer stops. So that's a little feature in 81, I guess. I think that's about it. I'm fixing to go in. I just spent the last 2 hours cutting grass and stuff. So I'm ready to go in. What did I want to say now? I think, no, I don't know. But there is a harness. I was thinking this is it. If anybody knows, got that weird plug on there. But there's actually 2 harnesses that go from the gas pedal power to the air induction scoop. I guess there's one going up there and something, and then another harness that goes from there to a temperature switch. So I guess, I don't know, it determines if it opens on what temperature it is. I don't know. But yeah, there's about $100 for both of them. But I'm not gonna get them. But anyway, that little harness piece is missing. Like I said, there's the orange wire here out of the firewall, and then it's just got a little stub coming off the the scoop solenoid. And then who knows if that solenoid's any good or not anyway. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. And we'll get rolling on some more stuff. And we'll probably get going on them floors. And put some of them in there. And then we'll go from there. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay guys, next day. It rained a little bit earlier. Everything just kind of wet, but okay, I think we're going to put this floor in on the passenger side and get it done. The only thing I didn't like was it doesn't come up very far here. And see, this part's not bad, but this one's got rust holes in it right there. And this new floor probably only comes up to there. You know, you can see where I did this side here. So we're gonna have to make a little patch in there. Okay. Now how I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna cut out the whole floor and put this one in. It's way too much work with all these braces and stuff, and it's not that bad. So we only got like half of this area. This is the brace here going across for the seat. Well, in the floor, it braces the floor and holds the seat. And then this is the front here. I had some bolts there, and I should have lubed them up first, but anyway, they'll go in there. So the only rot we got up here is this here, and then this area here. And then down here, just this area here around the seat mount. See, the rest of this from here and all that's good. Now this is not rusted through. I don't know what they done. From the back, they had a hook and wrecked that rear valance area there with a hook, yanking it around. I think what they did here is they hooked a tow hook and a chain right here and tried to pull it around or something. Now, can I bang this flat and just weld that up? Yeah, I could. Or I could cut out. That's this area here. Or I could just cut out that little square and weld that in there. But then I got to worry about the other Camaro. See, see, you can buy a little square, or you can buy this whole patch. I'm not sure what the 80 Z28 needs. I think it's the opposite to this. I think the driver's side is good, but the passenger side is rotted out. So if I could save this front half for it, I don't know. I always got to be thinking of that, but you know, save myself $100 or something instead of cutting this up. But then again, we got to cut up to here anyway. Now this black I put on here, it was just a little rusty. You know, it's doing some 415, so I just dabbed some on the rust spots there and there, but it's not rusted through. Yeah, that little crack up there, looks like they did it with a Sawzall or something. I'm going to weld that up. I'm going to weld it up through from the front, because I don't want to catch this plastic stuff on fire. Yeah, I should have done it before I installed everything, but didn't want to stop and do all that. So, yeah, let me see if I can dolly this around with a couple of hammers. It's still kind of all wet in here. It's, you know, from the rain. Got a little water in there from somewhere. So let me see if I can dolly that up, and maybe we'll just weld that. Now, these back bolts, this one's rounded off. This one's rotted off. Barely see the head there. This one I'm thinking of grinding and welding another bolt on it, and it'll probably come out. But this one I'm not sure if I can do that. That's pretty bad. We have to take off this seat belt. Don't know why that's red. The other seat belt was bad or something. But this one, again, this one might be all messed up. But we'll try to get that off. And we got to get these two bolts out some way. One way or another, we got to take them off. So yeah, I can do that. Mark with a marker, if I can find a good marker that marks. And I'm gonna see, I know that little brace thing is right here. So from that, what it looks like is I'm gonna mark it here. And maybe just do that. So, where was it? This hole here. It looks like probably like that. We're just going to use that area. We're not going to use the rest. And I need to get up under there, put down some cardboard. Cardboard's all wet. And see what's showing through the bottom. I know this will show through. So how we're going to cut it is we're just going to cut out a nice neat square of all the rotten stuff. Unless this brace will probably, wherever this brace is, looks like you can't see through there. That brace might come all the way to here. I'm not sure. And just cut. See, there's a brace welded in here too. We can get under there. I'll show it to you here in a little while. Is that a spot weld there? There's a spot weld there. So it looks like I'm going to cut it out from here to here. Okay, just cut that area out. Same with this. Just you know, there's no braces here, just here. So we're just going to cut that square out up to this brace line here. We can see it. And yeah, see, I think the brace goes underneath, and you don't even see this from underneath. We can cut a little bit out, but really, I'm just going to overlap the new piece onto the stuff that's not going to show from underneath. I'm not going to bother cutting everything out, cutting out spot welds and all that crap. This is just a cheap car. This is no, you know, $100,000 Mega auction special. That's going to be, you know. So yeah, okay. Well, that's the plan. So let me get some of this done, and I'll come back and show you the progress. Okay, guys. I got these two cut out for now. So right here, this is the brace. Okay, I tried to take these seat belts out. I'd welded on bolts. This one almost came out. It's almost out. It started turning and then it broke. And then I welded it, did it like 3 times. Finally I gave up. This one wouldn't even budge. So I got 2 choices. Either drill it out. You can get it to it from underneath. So you can put a nut and a bolt on there from the seat, which I'll probably do. Or you could weld a bolt upside down and weld it up so a stud's sticking out. Then you can put the seat over that and put on a nut. And so either way, we're just gonna, the new floor, we're just gonna cut out a little circle for that. I'll drill it out later. Okay, so this is the brace from here to here, goes across, and then same with up here, starts here and goes to like here. Okay, so we don't have to cut any of this out. It's not rusted. This I'm not going to worry about. Should pour 15 it though. And this stuff too, really. But I don't know if I want to open up a new can or not. I might. Now we got a little. We'll just probably put something over top of that. Not going to worry about that for now. So the new piece here, we're going to just cut it, overlap it a couple inches. Probably all the way up to about here, up to right in here. Weld it in here and across here like that. And then we'll drill a bunch of holes here in the middle. We're gonna overlap it and weld around the seam, and then maybe a couple of holes in here, maybe in here or something like that. And we'll probably trim it up a little bit more. Can't trim any more here. It's trimmed all the way to the brace. We could take out a little bit more there, and then we got a brace for the seat belt from here up. We trim that a little bit. Then I'm gonna take a grinder and grind all these edges, get all the rough out of it, because we're gonna, once we weld it on the top, we're gonna tap it to the new panel underneath and tack it in there underneath as well. Seam seal it and undercoat it. Just like, well, I haven't done it to the other. We'll get up under here. Look, see, here's the brace here, and this brace up here. So we'll get up under here once it's in, and we'll tack weld it around here, around them edges. Just like the back, you can see where I welded in on the bottom lip. We're gonna tap that and give it some little spot welds around there, same like around here. We'll do that later. But yeah, I just want to make it look halfway decent underneath. Nobody will really see it unless I put it up on a lift, but I said we'll clean it up. Okay, so let me cut this out where I need to, and yeah, we'll have to drill out a big hole for this bolt here, and drill out one for that one. These two can stay there. And yeah, I don't think it reaches all the way to the seat belt. I think it goes right about up to here. So we'll just cut a little bit out there. And then we'll probably trim a little bit more out of this, as much as we can. So yeah, that's it. Okay, I'll be back when I get that cut out, and we'll lay it in there. I'll show you before I weld it in. Okay guys, this is the patch I cut out. Okay, I'm just gonna line it up to it doesn't fit perfect. I mean, these lines aren't perfect, but they're pretty close. Right there. So yeah, that's basically it. These are basically where the hole for the bolts for the seats are. But yeah, basically it's going to go in something like that. Like I said, we're going to weld all the way around the edges, weld up underneath, and maybe a few welds in the middle. But yeah, let me drill some holes. Let me take the grinder, clean up all these edges here and on the floor, and grind all this rust here. Probably just use some weld through primer and just prime all this stuff here, instead of opening up a new can of pour 15. So yeah, let me do that, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I primed the bottom of this, and it's starting to get dark out. I just primed all that area there with weld through primer, so fixing to put it on there, and weld it. Well, I'll probably put a few screws in there to hold it. I got the this deal here for the seat. We can clamp that area down. Maybe put a few screws in here and then weld it. So I'll be back. Okay guys, next morning. It just finished raining just a little bit, but enough to get everything soaked again. Still spitting out a little bit, but okay. So there's the seat bolt there. So I got that held in, and then we put a bunch of screws around there to hold it tight. Then the rest of this, I'll just hold it like this and weld it. So yeah, the only thing is he's got these cracks, these slits in it to make it fit. I gotta weld them up. But anyway, there's my little cheap $80 shipping and tax included eBay welder, made in China. Works pretty good. So I'm just gonna weld it up with that, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, later in the day, it kind of rained earlier. Right after I finished welding this in, it started raining. So went inside and took a nap, and anyway, got it all welded in, just ground it down a little bit. Did some welds underneath, just a few. Pretty much just going to seam seal it and truck bed line it underneath there. This area here, I just tapped it down and welded that up. And I started welding that little crack up there till the plastic housing started catching on fire. So I just pushed some seam sealer up in there. So we're gonna call this pretty much done, other than putting some primer and paint on the top. We'll probably put some seam sealer around these edges too. But basically we got to do the same on the other side. The other side, I think we got to do mainly this area here. You can, yeah, hole right there, and then the toe board up there, which I don't have. I'm gonna see what I have left over to see if I can form part of that toe board there. I'd rather not, you know, I'd rather just buy the piece, but hey, it's too expensive. Okay, well, let me maybe start on that other side here in a little while, and I'll be back. Okay guys, next morning. Okay, so we got this side ready to prime and paint. Man, I forgot that little area there. We'll fix that later. We're gonna move on to this driver's side. Like I said, I had the whole piece up to here, but we only cut out down here. Okay, this side, or the front half, the floor brace, seat brace starts here and goes over. So if you look underneath the car, you'll see all this and no rust holes in it. If you look on this side, you'll see this rust hole here. Okay, that rust hole, I thought there was a double layer of brace under there. That's the subframe right there, underneath there. We've got a little rust hole there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this out here a little bit, a little square, possibly this one too, and then put the floor in from here over it as far as it goes. So this is it here. I'm gonna cut along there, and then cut along here. We got to leave a couple inches here. The brake and evaporator vent line is right underneath here. so we can't cut that out and weld it to the rocker. Well, we're going to leave most of this in here. We're just going to overlap the new floor and tack it in here. And like I said, we can only go up to here. So after this is fixed, what we have is this toe board, and it's not that's a big brace underneath there. That doesn't show from the firewall. If you look from the front, all you'll see is this, and underneath the gas pedal, you'll just see that little square. That's the main thing we got to worry about fixing. Whether I want to spend 130 bucks to get a new whole piece to cut out that section, I don't know yet. We may have to leave that. I could fiberglass it, but some people get pissed off at that. But yeah, I see it's curved. It comes across, it curves up, then it curves here. Okay, that may be a dent, I don't know. And then it's curved here. So you can't just take a piece of metal and make that, you know. Yeah, if I got a new piece, I'd probably just cut it out and weld in most of it. But I don't know yet. Let me think about buying that piece. But for now, let's get in the floor from there to there and cover all this up, make it stronger and more better. Okay, so I'll come back. Let me cut that out. Let me cut this out, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I just cut out that piece. Braces from here over. Anyway, that's the piece right there. They're rotten on that end and that end. And then around here is where we're going to weld it. Just going to weld it onto this tab, weld it and screw it on there and leave that. I think I'm going to have to get that toe board. I don't think there's any way around it. It's all, I don't even know if it's all bent or if that contour right there is supposed to be there or not. You know, this thing's been jacked up, and I cut this out also because it was bent up. You know, this thing's been moved around with forklifts and yanking with chains and everything else for years around the junkyard. And I put this piece on there, and it was, you know, teetering like this because this was all too high. That was one reason I cut that out. Plus it was rotted. But, then I took that little cover off, and we'll just leave that. That fits right into the original hole. So now it fits pretty damn good all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to drill some holes in here to weld to around the edges there. I'm just going to weld around the edges like I did that side. But this one I'm going to put some holes because I want to leave this whole lip on there in case to weld the toe board onto. So we're going to weld some holes in there to plug weld it, and then we're going to put some screws in there as well to hold it down, and then I'll probably put some screws around here to hold it, and then weld it in, and that's it till the toe board gets here, which sucks because I got the carpet coming and I wanted to do the interior next, but I can't do the interior and carpet till the carpet's got to be in there first, before the seats, before the console, before, you know, everything else. So we can't do anything with the interior till we get the carpet in. Okay, so let me weld this in, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, there it is. It's all welded in there. I'm gonna put some little primer, seam sealer, and paint over all of it, really. But see, the morning dew and all that, just or whatever got in there, is already staining that bare metal. I looked into parts cars, and there's no good piece like that. There's some that aren't really rusty, but they're dented, and then some that got rust holes in them, and the only way to fix that right is to get a new piece. So I guess I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, show you what I did last night. I seam sealed all around the edges, put some 415 on those two, but this one I just painted some can of primer slash paint there, that just put a coat on that real quick. I'm gonna probably paint everything black later after we're all done. We got this toe board to do, and that little patch over there, I think. And then I'll still get a seam seal the bottom and undercoat it. So you still got a little bit of work to do to it, but before we do the interior, which I think will be next video. But yeah, anyway, that's it. I found the toe board for $103 shipped with tax and everything, 103 something. So I went ahead and bought it. I didn't want to spend another $100 on this because, like I said, $100 here and $100 there. It adds up to a couple thousand by the end of the build, and if you can just knock off them $100 bills at the beginning, be a lot better off. But it's too, like I said, it's too curvy and everything on there, so I can't just make it out of nothing. So yeah, next video we'll get that done, that little patch, and then we're going to start on the interior. Everything I can that I have that I can put together on it. I think we'll start with that package tray up there. That's I just stuck that in there out of the way. Yeah, it looks like complete shit. Oh, we got to paint that back piece. See, that's another piece that was dark brown. That metal piece below the window. Yeah, we'll have to paint that, put in a package tray. And then, like I said, put together what I can. I got a new carpet coming. $173. It's went up like $4. No big deal. You know, I can handle a couple of bucks increase, but when it comes to big increases like the windshields and the front end parts, that it's getting a little ridiculous. So anyway, we'll the carpet will be in any day, but the problem is we can't put the carpet in until we get the toe board. So we got to kind of wait on a few things. And then I got to button up them wires here for get these interior lights working again. I don't know if they were working good, but I haven't been back messing with it. Once all this dries here, I'll get underneath there and see. It's probably something simple, unless it just pinched a wire when I put in the dash and everything. I don't know. It's getting power where I plugged it into the fuse block, but it's something between the fuse block and the light's not getting power, I guess, unless both lights burned out. I want to go get, I'm going to go down and get a bunch of parts from like Walmart and AutoZone, and I'll get a couple of those little bulbs, and I need to get some oil, some transmission fluid, some black engine paint, some gasket sealer, bunch of shit like that. So I'm not stopped buying parts. It's just but yeah, we're gonna get with the engines underneath that hood there, and pull it apart, put a gasket set on it, get it running, or get it ready to put in the car, and then to get it running later on. But yeah, we got that in the interior. But anyway, I already made an outro, so here's the outro I just recorded there yesterday while it was on my mind. And okay guys, I just hooked up the battery. The interior light does work. See, on, off, one over there. was underneath there cleaning it up and seam sealed it. See if I can seam seal it around the edges there and sprayed some truck bed coating on it. So looks okay under there. Okay. Okay guys, I think we're gonna end the video on that. Next video on this, we're gonna start on the interior. And then after that, we got an engine, transmission to put together. So at the beginning of the video, I was pretty pissed off about price increases and stuff, and due to tariffs, and I said I was going to boycott buying parts and abandoning a project. Well, the abandoned project was the Z28. At this moment, probably not going to build it. Abandoned project was this. Really pissed off about the $377 increase in the front end kit due to tariffs. So, but I'm still spending money. Just ordered the carpet for this, which we'll put in next video. Hopefully, it's Labor Day weekend, so you know, big delay on shipping probably. But whenever that gets here, we'll paint some interior pieces and, you know, put in some seats and do what we can without spending, you know, I'm not going to buy a dash cover, and I think the dash cover was $160 something for the cheapest overlay, I think it's called. But anyway, so since I started this video, we got some, I'm not going to say good news, I'm going to say a glimmer of hope on these tariffs. Two courts have already ruled that Trump's tariffs are illegal, and his powers, Emergency Power Act of 1977, is illegal as well. So there's only one step left in that Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court will say, who knows? If they're, you know, Trump's got it stacked, so we don't know. But if they were to go by the law and the Constitution, they would agree with the other two courts that what he's doing is illegal. The power of tariffs and taxes lies in the Congress. They have the power of that, not Trump, not the presidency. So so even if they rule by the law and the Constitution, I suspect they will just tell Congress that they will have to take back their tariff power or relinquish it to Trump. So what will Congress do? Well, we don't know. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. So there's a glimmer of hope. I suspect Congress will not impose tariffs. If they take their tariff power back, they're not going to do what Trump did, because they'll just be thrown out of office. They won't get reelected. But so anyway, that's a glimmer of hope. A lot of comments, some past videos recently. I addressed all. This channel is about building a car and what the prices cost and all that stuff. I've been over it 100 times, and tariffs are a big factor in these price increases. So I'm going to tell you about them. I'm not just going to gloss over them or pretend they're not there. They're there. They're the elephant in the room. Prices are through the roof due to tariffs. So that's, I'm always going to talk about that on this channel. If something goes up in price, I'm going to tell you. So I've been accused of being political and all that. I'm talking about tariffs and taxes on this channel. So I did make a little video on I could have went on for about 5 hours, tell you the truth, about everything that's going wrong, how to fix it, all that stuff. So I was pissed off. I made an 18-minute video. I'm not going to post it on this channel. Go to my Facebook page, Clunkers and Classics, and I posted it there. If you want more in-depth on what I think about stuff and what, you know, some facts are, you know, like the law. So yeah, you can go watch that rant if you want. That's all it is. It's a rant. So anyway, I thought I'd address that when I mentioned that I was going to abandon the project and boycotts or parts due to increased prices. I am holding off on the front end disc kit and suspension and all that stuff for this because I just don't want to piss away $377 in tariff fees for it. So we're going to do other stuff. We'll talk more about the 80 Z28 and the drivetrain for this later on. There is some stuff I can do to this still. I need to strip and prime the hood or the roof and the doors and parts, get them ready to go while I'm you know, at the beginning of the video it's like, okay, well, I'm going to boycott the parts, but for what? Well, what am I waiting for? When? Well, we got a little bit of clarity now that the last appeals court gave them till October 15th, enough time to appeal the Supreme Court, who comes into back to business beginning of October. So they're expected to rule on it pretty quick. So, you know, what do we got, 6 weeks? 6 weeks we'll know. So I guess we'll wait 6 weeks before I buy the suspension stuff. I've contacted Pirate Jack, who I bought the front kit for the Nomad, see if they want to do a sponsor, give me the parts or give me a discount, something like that. Hell, that's been 4 or 5 days ago. They have not responded, and I thought, well, maybe the eBay message got blocked because they don't like you messaging about stuff like that. So they do have a website. I think it's don't quote me on this, piratejacks.net or something. You can just Google them, Pirate Jacks in Asheville, North Carolina. They do have a website, so I contacted them through there, sent an email a couple days ago, and haven't heard nothing. So if you want, contact them and say, hey, sponsor Clunkers and Classics. He's doing a Camaro, and we're all going to watch it. We want to see the parts, and, you know, something like that. So I haven't heard from them, but at least it's not a no. And I'm not going to be contacting every parts manufacturer and begging for new parts or anything. But like I said, he mentioned when I bought this kit for the Nomad that if I was going to do another one, let him know we work something out. So I did. Whether he remembers me or not, probably not. But so yeah, that could happen. Or the tariffs just go away, which, you know, cross our fingers that they do, and then the prices go. Well, it may take a couple months for the prices to go back down. You know, it doesn't happen instantly because people got warehouses full of parts bought at today's prices that they got to sell. Then the next time they buy it, well, after 6 weeks, then it'd go back to normal. So, yeah, you know, who knows? Who knows? It could be 6 weeks. It could be, you know, 3-4 months. Who knows? But anyway, I just thought I'd touch on that. Don't want to ramble too much. But anyway, yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, share, all that stuff. And we'll see y'all next video. Probably on the 81 Z28 still, until I run out of parts and stuff, and maybe we'll get to stripping some on the Camaro here on the 67. Okay, we'll see you next video. Thanks everybody for watching.